It's Lee's Lowdown on lockdown. Yes, Lee's lockdown, lowdown. Will Lee Turner himself?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, it's me again. Yes, Lee Turner. Oi. And welcome to Lee's Lockdown Lowdown. Again, this is episode 3. If you haven't seen the others yet, get on YouTube and watch them. And then subscribe to me. Because I am the one and only. No one can do it. No. How does that song go? I am the one and only. Yeah, that's enough of that shit. Right, anyway. Today, my subject for my lockdown lowdown is spread. It's not cheese spread. It's not chocolate spread. Not that sort of spread. It's spread of the belly. Yes. It's the putting on pounds that people have put on during lockdown. This. Unfortunately, people have had sod all else to do, so they've been stuffing it in their gob. Yes, their food. Stuffing it in, they have stuffing it in, and they may have put on a little bit of weight. So today I'm going to give some advice on how to lose that. Actually, this is not fat. I haven't put weight on. I'm pregnant. Yes, I seriously am pregnant. I was going to change my name to Mary by default and call these, I'm having twins by the way, 5 of them. I was going to call each of them Jesus. But then I thought that's been done. So now I'm going to call them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Yeah. That way I can have the weekend off. Boom, boom.
Ha ha ha! Funny, right? Yeah! Woo! Your jokes are the best!
They're dad jokes, you better believe it. So anyway, as I was saying, I was going to give you a little bit of advice about losing this few pounds that you might have put on during lockdown. So, yes, you might have guessed I've got a lovely story to read to you today. And it's another Mr. Men book! Yay for Mr. Men! It's Roger Hargreaves' own Mr. Greedy. Eat clean to get lean. Follow his advice, guys. I would. Mr. Greedy liked to eat. In fact, Mr. Greedy loved to eat. But the older he got, the fatter he got. And the more he drank, the fatter he got. And the longer he was married, the fatter he got. That was like me, that was when I got married, I got fat. Until his middle age had spread so much that he stopped wearing clothes altogether. I never got that bad, Drew. You're lucky.
I know, right?
Mr. Greedy lived in Fatland, where everyone loved their food. They liked nothing more than devouring a cheeky booner, downing a cheeky wine, or demolishing a cheeky cheese board, followed by a cheeky bottle of Gaviscon the next day. But things were changing. It all began when Mr. Small started juicing. Then Mr. Muddle read something, somewhere, that it only took 15 minutes a day to get lean. So he spent 10 minutes a day exercising. And then another 5 minutes posing for pictures of himself at the gym.
Let's get physical!
Enough. Then he got himself some personal trainers. This is his picture. Hashtag Mr. Men Who Lift. Hashtag I am in the gym. Hashtag please like me. And hashtag look at my shoes. Silly man putting shoes on his hands. What do you think?
I know.
And Mr. Tickle was on the 5-2 diet. Unfortunately, he got it wrong and he fasted for 52 days straight. He lost so much weight that in that short amount of time that his arms were now mostly loose skin.
Oh.
Mr. Greedy thought it was all rather silly. One day he was in the park thinking how silly it all was when he saw his friend Mr. Worry walking very carefully. 9,993, 9,994, 9,995, counted Mr. Worry. Morning, said Mr. Greedy. Don't interrupt me, said Mr. Worry. I'm counting my 10,000 steps. I read in the Daily Fearmongerer that if you don't count them, it's really, really bad for you. Oh, right, chuckled Mr. Greedy. Shall we have breakfast when you're done? Oh, breakfast takes 10 years of your life, panicked Mr. Worry. I must go. And off he went again. 1, 2, 3. Stop shaking that camera. Otherwise I'll sack you.
You don't even pay me anyway.
Well, yeah, that's because you shake the camera when you film it.
Well, sorry, mate.
Aye, sip it, Shrimpy. At least Mr. Greedy had Mrs. Greedy. Here's my little jelly bean, she said when he got home. I got you a little treat. Mr. Greedy peeked into the box. And what do you think he found there?
A cake.
Black Forest Gatto?
Cake.
Jam donuts?
Cake.
Chocolate eclairs?
Cake.
No. It was courgette cake. Which is like carrot cake rhubarb made out of courgettes.
Alright.
No. Why would she get him something so green? Mr. Greedy had strong views on vegetables masquerading as cakes. Had she been brainwashed too? Surely not. Come to think of it, she had been hiding the biscuit tin, and she'd been leaving gym leaflets all around the house. She did keep talking about her colleague, Mr. Perfect, who cycled everywhere and still had all his own hair. Was she trying to tell him something?
Ooh, scandal.
He was sure it was fine and she wasn't having an affair. But just to be on the safe side, he decided to go on an irresistible muscle-bound. He decided to become an irresistible muscle-bound god. Luckily, at that moment, he saw an advert for Mr. Strong's boot camp. Are you getting fat, old and bold? Does your tummy have so many rolls that you could open a bakery? Sign up for Strong's boot camp and get square in no time. Don't just take our word for it. I was bullied in school. Now I could tie a knot in an iron bar. Mr. Strong, age 37. Footnote, may take a lot of time. So Mr. Greedy went to boot camp, which was absolutely no reason at all, started at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Boot camp starts with protein, shouted Mr. Strong. So 73 eggs later, all Mr. Greedy had done was a load of burpees, bleh, and had been sick on the floor. Keep going, bellowed Mr. Strong. Don't you want to be able to tie a knot in an iron bar? Not really. What's the point, said Mr. Greedy. Because... And then Mr. Strong fell silent. For the first time in his life, he questioned the existence. His entire existence. Then he quickly compensated by pushing over a tree and yelling, "Testosterone!" The only pounds Mr. Greedy had lost were the $350 that he'd spent on the boot camp in the first place, as the joining fee. At least I tried. He shrugged. He was heading home when he bumped into Mr. Perfect, who was busy doing squats. Mr. Perfect had perfect hair, a perfect smile, and perfectly fitting cycling shorts that revealed quite a lot about him.
Oh.
Stop looking. He stood up and appeared to be holding something that he deposited while squatting. "Energy ball?" he said. "No, thanks." Mr. Greedy was greedy, but he did have limits. After begrudgingly sponsoring Mr. Perfect £50 for tough Mr. Mudder, Mr. Greedy decided to give fitness one more go. He went to see little Miss Somersault. She was busy balancing an interior decorating business, raising 6 gifted children, teaching yoga, building her lifestyle brand, Clean Living Guru as well, TM. "I treat my body like a temple, which I mean. I clean everything," she said. That was little Miss Somersault, as she cleaned Mr. Greedy from top to bottom. "You simply buy food that is whole, unprocessed, and direct from the health food shop." "Okay," said Mr. Greedy. "And then you put it all in the dishwasher," said little Miss Somersault. "Just make sure that it's extra clean." She was just on a call from one of her many celebrity clients when all of a sudden she cocked her leg in the air and bent over backwards. "Are you all right?" said Mr. Greedy. "I'm fine," she replied. "I'm just doing the up-facing farting dog."
I'm scarred for life.
Yes. Nothing at all was working. He even tried calling in on Mr. Clumsy, who had recently gone gluten-free.
That's me.
But it wasn't a very good time.
I'm clumsy, aren't I, Dad?
Yes, you are clumsy. "Oh, what's the matter?" said Mrs. Greedy at dinner time that evening. "You haven't touched your fava beans." Mr. Greedy explained how he had been trying to lose weight so that she'd fancy him again. "Fancy you? Of course I fancy you," she said. And then Mrs. Greedy explained that she'd been trying to lose weight herself, so he'd fancy her again. "Fancy you? Of course I fancy you," he said. "So we both fancy each other," they said together. And with that, Mrs. Greedy chucked the fava beans into the bin and hugged Mr. Greedy's roly-poly tummy. Oh, yeah, I bet they did. Then Mr. Greedy had a splendid idea to make them both feel better. He invited Mr. and Mrs. Giant from next door around for dinner. And do you know, from that day to this, Mr. Greedy never felt big again. So if you're as greedy as Mr. Greedy, you know what to do, don't you? Don't you, Ruth?
Mm-hmm.
Find some bigger friends. The end.
Woo!
Well, I hope you liked that book. So, if you want a diet, just find some bigger friends, and then you look smaller than them. Yeah. The end. Enjoy, subscribe. Bye-bye.
come on. Oh, come on.
What are you doing?
It was.
Oh, you want to turn off? Oh, you dickhead.